Jr.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing today? Okay, before we get started, first of all, I value your time. I want to tell you all thank you very much. I believe that time is the most valuable asset that we have. Do you guys believe that? All right, so I'm going to start out in a very powerful way. Do we have any veterans in the house? If we have any military veterans, I'm going to ask that you just raise your hands very high for me. Raise your hands high for me. And everyone who is not raising their hands, keep your hands high. Everyone who is not raising their hands, I need you all to stand. And let's give these individuals a round of applause. Thank you so much. You all may be seated. Now, I do not take it lightly. That is because of your courage, what you guys do. And hats off, I tell you, hats off to you all because you all make it possible for us to come here and do something that we love in the greatest industry next to teaching and defending our country. Okay, so I want to make sure that that's very, very clear. Do we have any family members of anyone in the active military right now? Do we have any family members? So my family members, I'm going to ask you all to stand. The family members to stand up, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all so much because as a Navy man's son, I know that when a family member serves, the entire family serves. Now you may be asking, why did I ask the veterans to stand and give a standing ovation, or to sit and give a standing ovation, and then for the family members to stand while they want us to see it? It's because in life, everything does not deserve equal weight. Do you guys understand that? In life, everything does not deserve equal weight. So we're going to talk about today being world-renowned, how to be world-renowned. What is world-renowned? World-renowned means that you are world-famous. Who here wants to be world-famous? Okay. Now, let me tell you why. Well, let me tell you why when you say that, when people don't raise their hands when I ask, I know I'm shy, I don't want to be world-famous. Everyone has a world. Whatever your world is, whether it's 7 billion people or if your world is your family, you want to be famous in your world, meaning that you are the best at what you do. I have to make a couple of disclaimers. In this room, we have a few people. This room right here represents everyone up here, or this picture represents everyone in this room. The young lady in the back in the pink right here, she is going to be those of you who are always looking to see how someone else is going to respond. Because I didn't tell you what this is going to be very interactive. Very, very interactive on how to be world-renowned. So some of you are going to be looking to see if someone else raises their hand. Okay? The young lady right here, her with the red with her arm, she's so excited that her arm is going backwards. That's going to be for those of you who are so excited to share, who can't wait. Those of us who can't wait to be world-renowned, who want to be world-famous. Some of you are going to be like my friend here, like, I think I heard the question right, but I'm just going to raise my hand because he made eye contact with me. Right? See, those of you who laughed, that's you. And then I believe there's going to be a few of us like this young lady right here. I hope I'm wrong. A few of us will be like this young lady right here. Like, he has no idea what the heck he's talking about and what are we having for lunch. Right? So that's going to be representative of us all. Now, Stacy asked me to keep it clean. I'm going to try. However, when you're talking about being world-renowned, you have to use some foul language. So if I'm going to offend anyone right now, I apologize up front. So the foul language I'm going to use, and I hope it offends you guys when I say it, words like average, mediocre, lazy, right? So anytime you guys hear me say average, mediocre, lazy, you should say ew, right? Because when you talk to someone who's world-renowned, being average is unacceptable. Do you guys understand that? If you understand that, say yes. Yes. If you heard me, say yes.
Yes.
If you didn't hear me, say yes. Okay. This right here is a photo that represents our real estate industry. Do you guys believe that? Yes. Actually, this was taken yesterday outside of Party at the Moon. Now, being world-renowned means that you cannot be average. See? Almost right there. It means that you cannot be average. You cannot do what this is. We are programmed in this industry and in life to be average, to do just enough not to fall behind, not to stand up, not to stick our head above the crowd. Do you guys understand that? Do you believe that? All right, now for those of you who are parents, you love your kids. How many parents do we have in the house? How many parents do we have in the room? You love your kids. You want your kid to be the best that could be, yes? Yes. But how many times we say, no, don't do that. Just keep it down. Stop talking so loud. All of that, yes? Why? My son, he's the vice president of my company. He is 10 years old. Why? Because we don't do average. You guys understand? So you have to change the way you think, teach, and live. So this right here is everyone else. You cannot thrive in this real estate industry if you do this. You can be good, you can be average, you can be mediocre, but you will not be the best in the world. Now, when I say best in the world, that is not an ego thing. And we're going to talk about what defines best in the world, because nothing that you think, I'm telling you, I'm the best in the world at real estate. And it's not because I say so, it's because my clients tell me, my agents tell me, other agents tell me. My competitors say, Neil, I came in, I saw your marketing material, I told them they should go with you, and they walked out of listing presentations because they knew they weren't prepared, because they prepare like an average agent does. So how do we take you from here to here? Do you guys understand what this is right here? This is what buyers and sellers are looking at. What do they have? Choices. They have options. Do you guys believe that buyers and sellers have lots of options? Now, does it matter? Does it really matter in life if she chooses this color here or this color here? No. Personal preference. Right? So how can we get this young lady, this buyer or seller, to choose from this? Because that's what she's choosing. You guys see the correlation. This is the same as this. We just have someone making choices. How do we get them to move? Is we become this. How many of you in here would want to be the brown paper? One of them, 1 in 100. You guys say no, but we only have, I think, like 7 people that want to be world renowned, that want to be world famous. You guys understand where I'm going? Yes. Because if you do not make a decision right now to be the best in the world at what you do, this is who you're going to be. And what happens in our lives and in our sales businesses is that we lose business to this guy, to this girl. And how are we losing business? It's not because they're doing anything extravagant, because I'm going to tell you guys, other than the way I dress, I'm a pretty practical guy. Other than the way I dress, I'm pretty practical. So nothing I'm going to tell you guys is going to be earth-shattering. A lot of it is going to be things that you've already heard, that you have just forgotten, or you've pushed off to the side. How many people do we have in the room that's been in the industry for less than a year? In the industry less than a year, raise your hand. Congratulations and condolences, sir. If you need prayer, we will be holding it right after this. How many have been in the industry for more than a year and less than 5? Okay, good. And how many of you have been in the industry for more than 6 years? More than 6 years? More than 10? More than 15? Okay, so you guys are my co-presenters, just so you know. So just so you know that. Now, what makes you world-renowned? What makes you the best? This right here. Which of these gentlemen are right? Yay, I'm saved. The guy that's on the boat that found him, or the guy who finally sees the boat? Which of them are right? Which is correct that they're saved?
Both. Neither.
You guys say neither or both. Right? Either one. The perception, the bitter meeting of perception and reality. So what makes you the best is not what you do. It's not who you are. It's who our customers say that we are. When we go back and when we say that the customer is always right, that does not mean that every time they say something we have to do it and that they're right. What it means is that their perception of you is the only perception that matters in the transaction. Now understand that perception and integrity are totally different. Perception is what someone else says about you. Integrity is what you know about yourself. You guys agree? Everyone understand that? The first way to be world-renowned is to deliver outstanding service. We just heard the young lady speaking about artificial intelligence and who's being replaced. Great service, world-renowned service never gets replaced. Lackluster, average service gets replaced every day of the week. Great service. If Apple had better service, if Apple had fantastic service when you went into the Apple store, there would be no need, there would be absolutely no need for online options. You wouldn't be able to buy things online. But when you have lackluster and second-rate service, that allows for the average, you guys understand that? Allows for the average person to come in and replace you. Okay? So what are some ways that we as realtors can deliver world-class, world-renowned service? What are some ways that we can deliver world-renowned service? This is the interactive part I forgot to tell you. This is very interactive. I don't have a mic, but I'll put a lapel mic on you if we need. What are some ways? Yes, ma'am.
Respond quickly to queries and to your customers.
Respond quickly. So just so we are aware, one of the first indications, one of the first ways that people decide whether or not you are professional is speed of response, rate of response. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to answer your phone all the time, but I do not prescribe to that at all. But speed of service, yes ma'am. Cindy.
I was just gonna say to always speak truth. You know, they know that you're gonna tell the truth, the integrity piece.
So apparently Cindy was with me when I was doing my presentation, or I was putting it together, because we talk about that really quickly in a moment. So thank you for just ruining everything. I forgot to ask you guys, how many of you have ever heard me present or speak before? How many of you have heard me speak? Okay, that means I can use the same material, and so you three people laugh loud, all right? So I want to pause right here, and I want everyone in here to look around, look at two other people. When you look at them, make eye contact with them, and then look them up and down. Right now, real quick. Make eye contact first, and then look them up and down. Find two more people. I hope it's awkward. I hope it is awkward. Okay, now, right, got it? They're like, yeah, you nailed the awkwardness. Now, research shows in America, 1 in 3 people are extremely beautiful or handsome. Now, I know that since the people that you looked at were not that person, what does that mean? That means that it had to be you, right? So give me, right? Because you kind of looked at them like, nah, not him, not her. So 1 in 3, it has to be you. So being able to deliver outstanding service is the first way that we're going to put ourselves out of the average and into the world-renowned classes. The second way, who likes doing life the hard way? Who enjoys doing life the hard way? I want to see how many liars we have in the room. No one likes doing life the hard way. Who likes doing business with difficult people? Who likes doing life with a difficult partner? My wife is right here, so you know my hand is not on the side. Everyone loves ease, convenience. How do you get to do business with individuals and become world-renowned? Make it easy and convenient for them. Convenience stores will never go out of, they're always going to be here. Why? Because you can run in, run out. Now, why are drive-thrus so important? Why is Starbucks closing more locations right now without drive-thrus, adding more drive-thru, more people dedicated to the drive-thru, and will have you wait inside, even though usually you buy more when you go in the store than with the drive-thru. You usually buy more, but they'll have you wait inside. Why? Because they know you're coming there for convenience. The same thing is true when it comes to our business. How can we make our business easier to deal with, or people easier to deal with us? What are some ways that we can make their lives easier? Interactive. I forgot. You guys are so interactive part. Here we go. Yes, ma'am.
Artificial intelligence, you can send text messages and automated responses.
She said send text messages, automated responses.
Since we do this every day, guide them through the process so they can feel comfortable what to expect.
Absolutely.
Whether that's video or emails or whatever, but just, again, you know, the unknown is very stressful for people. So doing that can help ease through the process.
Yes, ma'am.
Just following on from that, speak in their language, not our language.
Speak in their language. So all of those are facts. That's how you want to be able to use artificial intelligence. You want to speak in their language and then guide them through the process. And now it's easier than ever to help guide people through processes. Super, super easy. So we want to make sure we're taking advantage of that. Does anyone know who this lady is here? If you know it, just shout it out. Aretha who? And what is Aretha Franklin famous for? What is she famous for? Respect. Respect. How do you become, now that's sort of terrifying, because I know when my wife points at me like that, she doesn't even have to say anything, right? So how do we become world-renowned? We give every individual that we work with respect. Respect has become a catchphrase. It's hardly ever an actual practice in our industry. Do you guys believe that? So how do you separate yourself and become the colorful penguin instead of the brown penguin? Give respect to everyone that you deal with. Professionalism. How many of you have ever dealt with an agent in a transaction and you said, I just wish they were more professional? If you have, raise your hand unless they're sitting next to you. Okay. Professionalism is something that is dying in our industry. We say we want more professionalism in our industry, but we in this room, we fail to deliver and give what we demand of others. When was the last time you demanded professionalism from yourself in a transaction, when you got an ugly email or when you wanted to say something to an agent and you actually did? That's professionalism. When was the last time you were running, you know you're late before you're late, do you guys agree? When was the last time you were professional enough to be late to a showing and you let the other party know? When you're world renowned is a state of mind. World renowned is not an action. It's a way of life. You guys got me, you understand? So make sure everything that we do embodies and shows professionalism. Competence. How skilled are you? The reason that we are being replaced is because computers can do our job, because computers it doesn't require skill. Florida Realtors does a fantastic job giving us all of the tools that we need to be exceptional, to be the most competent realtors and professionals in our industry. Things that any other site can't have. Who uses the market stats, the research and stats from Florida Realtors? Who uses that on a weekly or daily basis? If you're not using that on a weekly or daily basis, you are leaving thousands of dollars on the table a month, easily. Super simple, super easy. They do it to make us competent. What are some ways that we can be competent, or that we can communicate our competence to buyers and sellers in this market? Anyone? No takers. I'll take that this is interactive. So the first, video. So you can communicate your competence through the use of video. And we're not talking about just doing some like selfie video, just flicking your hair. No, we're talking about competence, showing that you have great material, great information, market stats, list price and sales price ratio, months of inventory, and then median days on market. Right? If you know those three stats, you can almost go into any market and become a market expert in less than 15 minutes. And we're not getting the business that we should because we are incompetent. Yes, I just called you all incompetent, so you should say ouch. Ouch. There we go. And I say that because I am incompetent as well. Wait, incompetent and, okay, incompetent, that's right. I just want to make sure I didn't get it twisted. Being direct. If you want to be world renowned, as Cindy said, be direct with your people. Buyers, sellers, other agents. The BS filter is so accurate right now. Who can smell BS from a mile away? If you can't, if the person that's next to you didn't raise their hand, you should probably try to sell them some BS today and see how much they'll pay you for it, right? The BS sensor is so accurate now that if you're not direct, if you aren't competent, and you try to skate around anything you do, you are working like an average agent, and they will be able to point you out. They will be able to tell. Needle in a haystack. The needle in the haystack. What takes the average agent, what can take an average agent to make them world renowned? Do the research for your clients. Do more. Go further, go longer, go harder. Okay? The needle in the haystack means that you are willing to go above and beyond, to do the extra little bit, to go dig, find out what the taxes are. Find out, get insurance quotes before they need it. Know who you can contact before your client even needs it. Find out about flood elevations. See if there's a survey. Depending on the price point of the property, you might need to go down to the public records office and do some research. You guys understand? Because when you deliver that, then you become world renowned. The truth is, people want to work with the best. Who here has ever saw the best here and saw a mediocre anything here and said, "Ooh, I can't wait to get mediocre"? Now, if your spouse is next to you, and you had to choose and they were the mediocre choice, to say, "Baby, you were the best," it's okay, right? No one signs up for mediocre. Do you guys believe that? No one desires mediocre, they settle. No one desires average. But that's what happens when the drift comes. So we want to make sure that you guys think about that. The last thing I want to leave you all with is that I believe that next, as I said in the beginning, next to teaching and next to armed services, I believe this is the greatest industry in the world. We need to raise our standards individually, because everyone's worried about the industry. Don't worry about the industry if each one of us takes care of ourselves and take care of each other. All right, you guys got that? I just need to make sure you guys are still alive. If you would, just stand up for me real quick. Stand up for me real quick. I just want to make sure that we're all still breathing. If someone is not standing up next to you, go over and give them mouth to mouth. Don't even ask, just give them mouth to mouth. Okay, there we go. I need you guys to start. Put the two fingers like this. Put the two fingers together right here. Quick, hard as you can. All right, put these 4 fingers together. All right, now put the 3 fingers together. All right, now put our 5 together. You guys are so kind. A standing ovation for little old man. You guys, oh my gosh, I am honored. Here's how you can follow me. You guys maybe see, this is how you can get in contact with me on social media. I do a lot of quirky stuff, a lot of things with my wife, my son, but we're all about helping each and every one of us take our levels, to take our business to the next levels. If you haven't heard it, I don't know who's in the room. I want to leave you guys with this one more thing. If you haven't heard it, I love you guys. Just in case you guys haven't heard it, I know that you can never hear it enough. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Neil.